Steel prices have tripled. Yep, I bet they're jumping for joy, right? And Bank of America is worried. No, I just to tell you straight out, um, everything's going through the roof. And the reason being everything is going through the roof is because there's $19 trillion they signed out since the beginning of the COVID outbreak. $19 trillion. Now, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news or the guy that sits back and says, hey, doom and gloom, but $19 trillion is signed out since they started this COVID-19 outbreak. COVID's real. It's completely real. It's killed the crap out of a lot of people. It's a very, very bad virus. Very bad, which was in my last video. Talks about COVID and the variants. By the way, they said now in this article that the COVID vaccine is 95% effective on against the variant from the UK. So that's a pretty good news. But we got to remember that the leaky vaccine is another issue that was brought up before, and you can look up the study I posted on one of the comments on one of my videos. I believe 2 videos back. There is a link to a study through chickens. You want to check that out. So just saying. Just saying. Can't get into much about that because I'll get banned for life. Tucker Carlson just brought this up. But I'm not saying anything against the vaccine. I'm just saying the fact that if somebody does get vaccinated, everybody gets vaccinated, and there is a chance of spreading the virus because you still get the virus. You just don't get as bad of symptoms, so you shed the virus, okay? And that's where a mutation can happen, and you can shed it to somebody that's not vaccinated and go from there. It can get real deadly. Check out the video I shared on YouTube. So steel prices are triple. Bank of America is worried. Yeah, they should be worried because the $19 trillion thrown out in the economy. Let's see, I believe that the entire goods and services, it was everything was bought and sold was, let's see, yeah, long night, guys. I've been trying to do this video for ever. And I've already had 2 takes, and I erased both of those because I have the baby and my wife is up asleep. So it's yeah, can't be too loud. So 19 trillion 2019 was goods and services, everything spent. So 24 trillion 2021, which differs to $5 trillion. And yeah, you guys look at my time card, but it doesn't matter. I don't make enough money anyways. So 2021, there was $24 trillion in goods and services, and that means all the washers, dryers, all the parts, things we bought from China that went overseas, all the money that went over there for them to ship stuff. That's why there's problems with getting products here, because there's so much money on the market that it can't control. We can't keep up with the supply chains because there's really not enough stuff out there to cover $19 trillion. Whether or not the oligarchs and the massive kleptocracy of corporate world, corporate America, the Bezos and the Kellogg's and the food distributors and all those wicked people that rule the world that have just took all this sopped up money that was printed off the Federal Reserve by $19 trillion thrown in every direction for $450,000 houses at 2% interest. That didn't help America, by the way. Didn't help at all. It drove the prices up. They stole the money. They stole it. So you got to figure $19 trillion, $24 trillion spent in 2021. 19 of that was fake fiat currency. The oil dollar is falling, by the way. It's at 59% of the dominant currency across the world. Bitcoin's taking a huge chunk out of the dollar, just a massive dollar out of it. China's taking it out. Russia's taking it out. The euro's taking it out. The U.S. dollar is failing. Green New Deal, guys. Green New Deal. The oil dollar is falling. Why stay on the oil dollar? Let's just go to the Green New Deal. That's going to save the day, right? No. They spent too much money, threw too much money out. Oh, by the way, the $300 check they're going to give per kid under 6 and the $250 for the kid over 6, they're going to take that money in food. Your local grocery store and the suppliers are going to take all that money away. That's why price of food's going through the roof. They're just going to take it. Just like the 2% housing market. You know, great interest rate is supposed to save America, spur the economy. It didn't spur the economy. It made kleptocrats completely rich, and then the sub people below there have made a killing during a dead economy. A dead economy. That's all backed by fake fiat money. Don't say capitalism, because it's not capitalism. Capitalism was gone the day we shut down the country. It was gone. Just poof. Now it's all debt dollars, all fake dollars. Doesn't exist. The money was printed. It was printed. It didn't. It was printed out of thin air. $19 trillion, at least $5 trillion of this roaring 20s type economy that everybody's so happy about making all this money. Your money won't be worth anything eventually, because I'll tell you, the only thing that's not moving is gold. And the reason why gold isn't moving is because countries like China have imported 150 tons of gold in May. Just think about that, 120 tons of gold. Now, if gold was actually where it's supposed to be, like Bitcoin, they couldn't do that. But if they manipulate the banks, manipulate the speculators on gold prices, they're able to keep the cost of gold, real gold, low. Now, Bitcoin and all that can be the monetary system, future currency, but I'll guarantee one thing: the U.S. dollar won't be. That's just my opinion. It's not going to last. Roaring 20s is going to catch up. The oil dollar is going to crash. It's got 9% left to hold on. That's all that's left. When it loses 9%, it loses global dominance, which means shifted from the oil dollar, which we all know the dollar is backed by oil. That's where this all came about. We got rid of the gold. Nixon got rid of the gold standard, so we keep the government under control. Right now, the spending limit of the U.S. government is 226% of the gross domestic product. Put that in the bank. 226%. These crazy, I guess you'd say, lobbied by the medical community, by every other oligarch, kleptocrat, just completely filthy rich in fiat currencies that's just going to dump that dollar and get rid of it, and you guys are going to be stuck holding the bag. By the way, the medical cost in America is 17% of gross domestic product. You realize what 17% of the entire GDP of the United States is? That's an unfathomable amount of money going towards the medical industry. This is true. You know, they're the same people that actually did the opioid addiction for everybody, that killed rural America, by the way. And lots of places people just suffered through Oxycontin. Oh, you're sick? Well, let's get you an Oxycontin. It's not addictive. You're fine. Look what that did for us. Okay, steel prices, tripled. We're in trouble there. So guess what? All that money going out, they're going to take it all. They don't care. It's all going out. It's not going to help. Nothing's going to help. And let's go down through the USI's possible roaring 20s recovery. How'd that work out? Just say it. You remember the 20s, what came after the 20s? Great Depression. Gold is all it's going to be here in the end. Okay? Let's see. South Carolina and Montana to end all pandemic unemployment benefits for jobless residents. Well, there you go. They're starting to do it. They're running out of money. They've already spent all the money. They know it. People won't work. This is how hard it is to buy a house right now. I'll guarantee it's hard. But remember, there's people making just gazillions of dollars off of this. Just rolling in the dough. Capitalism doesn't exist. It fell the day they printed $19 trillion out. It fell the day they printed 1.9 trillion. When they 1 trillion, it's gone. Doesn't exist. Nobody tell me about capitalism. Capitalism is dead. It's dead. That's a fiat currency and debt dollars they're using as theft. Just plain ass theft. Okay, and in the next breath, they say mortgage rates are falling again. Yeah. Sure. What, did you run out of fiat currency? Or is it because you're going to cut out the stimulus money you're sending to everybody for hiding in the basement? Just curious. Just curious. Tucker Carlson, Fox News, calls out his dangerous anti-vaccination rhetoric. Won't get into that because I don't want to get banned. Just saying. Look at Bill and Melinda Gates. Who cares? They're the kleptocrats. They're the ones that made the gazillions of dollars. They're the ones that have gutted out the American system. Just like Jeff Bezos. Like all of them. They're just, who cares? I would never want to be them in the end, in judgment. Just saying. Top residents going vegan. Fast and Furious actor revealed on the Masked Singer. I just don't care. Rome debuts hot puzzle pizza vending machine. I don't really care. That's just dumb. Gates and their divorce. Who cares? They're the royal family. It's something to do with the Kardashians. GOP GOP files complaint versus Democrats for truth about big lie social posts. Still going on that, are we? The largest bank theft in world history happened when COVID broke out. The largest theft in global history. They robbed the bank of $19 trillion. And they gave everybody a little bit. Why, they made all the money back. They sold out all their toxic assets. I got all paid back for it. It's all covered. They didn't own it. They saved all the rich. Just saved all the rich. At least they told us they were robbing the bank. Why everybody's hiding COVID. Let's see. Florida School District investigates record. Recorded incidents on students being paddled in elementary school. Oh, wow. This is just like reading stupidity. These are the people. This is not free press. This is orchestrated propaganda. So orchestrated propaganda, all of it. I can't even read through it all. It's so. The entire economy is floating on $19 trillion. The roaring 20's is $19 trillion in debt. Okay? The country was shut down. People didn't go to work. People are still afraid to go to work. Why a section of the population was told as essential workers, there's nothing you can do about it. That's why everything's going up. See, because there's all this funny money. So when there's funny money out there, they take all they can. That's why everything's going up. It's called hyperinflation. This is a hyperinflationary period. That means that the money they're giving out is going to only be taken back by them. They know it. They're taking it all. The only chance you had to get out of this was through Bitcoin or Dogecoin. That's the only way to get out of it. If you'd have bought that doggy Dogecoin back a year ago, you'd be filthy rich. You put $3,000 on it, $4,000. You'd be rich. You'd be done. You don't have to worry about it. Then you take that money, you invest in gold. Because that's all that's going to matter in the end, because that's where governments actually say, oh crap, we're in trouble, and the fiat currency comes to roost, and that 9%'s gone, and they try to bring out the Green New Deal to save the world. No, it's to save the oil dollar. It's just to save the oil dollar. So before it was oil, that made the currency not backed by gold, and Nixon threw it out the window and said, we'll just go with oil. You have to buy, trade oil in U.S. dollars, and that's how they kept the U.S., the global currency, the U.S. dollar. But now Bitcoin and all the other coins are coming out, and China and Russia are taking the rest of it. So the U.S. dollar, everybody says, is impenetrable. No, it's losing. It's got 9% to go. And the Green New Deal is going to be the New Deal. We're going to take away from the oil dollar and put this Green New Deal dollar out, which isn't going to matter much at all, because it's not about you. It's not about the environment. It's not about, we're going to put 500,000 electrical plug-ins. Where are you going to get all the power for that, by the way? It's about them saving their own bottom line. They don't care about you. They'd replace you in a minute if they could find another bunch of people that wouldn't buck the system. If they could give you a lobotomy, so you just go to work every day, pay them this huge amount of taxes, and then they print off all the money they want, they hand it to all their buddies, and they say, well, let's give this to the people that are working. We'll make them think they're getting something out of it. Why we raise their taxes constantly. Then we'll give us next class a little bit more. We'll let those guys, go crazy. We'll lower the interest rate on houses, but then it goes to $450,000 for a medium house, from $130,000 to $450,000. They stole that money. They stole the fiat money. And now the lumber companies say, we want our share. Well, it's because there's supply and demand. No, it's not because of supply and demand. It's because of $19 trillion of fake money. The economy was shut down for a year, barely moving. Believe me, I was in the middle of it. Nope, laughed at, whatever. Buzzed around by people that are out of work. Everybody told to hide and run in their basements, whatever. Why, they stole $19 trillion. Oh my gosh, guys. And the problem is, not very many people are paying attention to that. They're saying, okay, well, at least we got through that. There's a huge section of the population that is worse off now than they've ever been. And when they go to the grocery store, like the rest of us, like me, go to the grocery store, we pay double because the kleptocrats that run the grocery stores are going to get their share of the fiat money. In the end, we don't get nothing. We have more money in our pockets, which we're up. Believe me, the income is up, but not from jobs. not in jobs. Jobs will work you to death. They don't care. You know, your bosses are probably struggling too, trying to make a living. It's their small business. They're a bigger business. They are just right in there with the rest of them. Right in there, just making. They're all tied in together. It's corporate America. It's global corporations. So this is my video for tonight. I can't run through CNN. Makes me want to puke. I just can't sit back and say, hey, you guys are just your bobbleheads. Free America is, they stole $19 trillion and gave, okay, so they probably gave the American people at the most $1 trillion. At the most. The rest went to bail out all their stuff and all their Ponzi schemes. And every bit they gave us goes right back to them. They even admitted during the recession, they started during the COVID outbreak, they said, well, we don't want to give it to this people that make this much because they'll actually take that money and put it away, and that won't spur that won't spur the economy. That won't go back into their pockets. They're paying off all their people. This 2.6 or whatever $trillion, the other trillions that Biden's planning to do, all that is another. It's the final stone on a burial of the United States. Because China's hoarding 150 tons of gold. Russia's got hundreds of tons of gold. Everybody's got gold. The United States, they got nothing. Bitcoin is taking it out. It's taking out the SWIFT system. This SWIFT isn't going to be worth the powder bullet to hell. No offense. Just the way it's going to be. They won't be trading in SWIFT. They'll be trading in coin. And the U.S. has no backing in that. And China's hoarding coin now because they know now they're against it. Now they're for it. Because they realize the U.S. is imploding in debt. Well, everybody's running around like the roaring 20's. Well, guess what? Here comes the 30's. And that's going to happen by July. My prediction is, unless they pull more money out that we can't afford, and they keep the game going through July, my prediction is July, we're going to see an economic crash. That's what everybody's saying. Just what I'm hearing. That it will make past July. They'll have to re-up the unemployment. States are already bucking it. They're already starting to kick people down the road without unemployment. When the federal unemployment runs out, then they'll have a bunch of people out of jobs, won't want to work because their money's worth garbage. Why go to work? You can make $10 an hour, $15. You can't even live off 50. Rent's $1,300. It's going to go to $15. Mortgages are $450,000. How the heck are you supposed to afford that when you're making $15 an hour? Hello? It's pricing out the middle class, pricing out the lower class completely. But Biden's going to put this new debt dollars back into mortgages, and they're just going to suck it back up. They're going to take it all. The money he puts towards mortgages or low income, they're just going to steal it all. It won't matter. If we haven't learned from the 2% interest rate that they stole all the money now that was supposed to help all of us, and they just racked in more money because they knew they could steal more. And if we didn't think the $200 to $300 is going to help her kid, they're just going to raise the price of groceries so high it won't matter. They're just going to steal that money too. Nothing's going to help. We're out of control, ran by kleptocratic special interests and corporations. From the top to the bottom. There's no more free market. We say they're free market. No, they're not free market. Free market was when you could start a taco stand on the side of the road and actually make something out of it. Your chance of that happening through taxes and everything else is slim to none. And you're never going to compete with Walmart or Kroger or Lynn's. Associated Foods, they got the market on small grocery stores. Nothing you do. It's all debt dollars. It's all debt dollars. And they're the ones reaping the benefits. And the medical community, what, $100,000 for a surgery? I wonder how much a bedpan costs. A pair of crutches to those people. They're the most entrenched. Even from Warren Buffett said they're the most entrenched system in making bazillions of dollars for the gigantic kleptocratic healthcare industry. 70% of the people have to, that's our GDP. No smiles and roses, guys. No smiles and roses. We're witnessing the death of an empire. Witnessing it. So, I guess tomorrow night I'll be back with some better news. A little better, not so down and out, but I just can't get a grasp on what's happening other than just saying that this is the largest theft in world history due to COVID. And it's killed 500,000+ Americans. And it debilitated so many more they're not even talking about. That were suffering from ailments, people that had it never been the same. And we got people that's going to be vaccinated, that people that are unvaccinated, what's going to happen to them? That's why everybody should get vaccinated, right? And my opinion is, just read, go to what I shared on 2 videos ago. You'll see it in a comment. You want to check that out. I can't say anymore because I cannot lose my platforms, because this is the only chance I have of getting word out from Free America, Free Press, building anything. You know, a lot of these companies and banks never really build anything. They've received billions of dollars. I'm here trying to build Free Press. But because of work and the issues I have, I cannot get it bigger, make it more involvement. My podcast that I wanted to have, I can't do. Everybody's too busy. Everybody I know is too busy, just working their guts out because of this massive $19 trillion theft being just spread every direction, and all these people making so much money than they've ever made before. And the incomes are up, but the wages are stagnant. And if you get a $2 an hour raise, it still doesn't matter. Prices are going up. Still ain't going to help you. Some people say, yeah, it helped me a lot. Well, just hold on, because it's going to get worse, called hyperinflation. So everybody should be worried. Everybody under $100,000, $75,000 a year personal income, you should be very worried, because it's not going to stop. It's going to continue, because of fiat money. They want it all. They're going to get it one way or the other. And they don't care who ends up in that 17% GDP healthcare industry. Anyway, thanks for watching 45 Days Utah. About all I can get out. So you guys have a great night. I hope everything's well, everything's good. You guys, I'll talk to you as soon as I possibly can. Thanks for watching.